Marky Worthington Podcast all day.
All day.
Dream by night.
Don't buy me a drink. Just give me $10.
All day.
Go down to the strip club with your floppy disk and turn it into a hard drive.
Yeah, bro. You'll get fucking thrown out by Big Tony. We're here to name names and make people feel more ashamed for shit that they're not proud of.
Don't blow it. Keep it simple. Count your money.
No, whatever it is.
Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the Marky Worthington Comedy Podcast. This is episode 35 with Sam Silla, part 2. So have you heard the first part of the Sam Silla episodes? This is the second now, and we get into some more cool stories and also just the general chit-chat back and forth, which is always good to have. Make sure you check out the YouTube channel as well. The video edition has some extras in there as well, as you probably realised in the first edition. So check out YouTube as well if you're not already. And as far as dates, we've got the basement coming up on the 16th of Feb. So that one's tomorrow if you're listening to this straight away. Tuesday the 16th of Feb, basement in Belconnen, kicking off at 8 o'clock with a 7:30 doors. So get on into that one to lock in a spot. Now we got the boardwalk in Belconnen. That's the last Thursday of every month. So the one for February is going to be on the 25th. So head on in, check that one out from 8 p.m. onwards. Make sure you check out social medias. You got Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube are all at Marky Worthington Comedy. And I'm on Twitter as well at Marky Comedy. So check that one out. And for now, enjoy the rest of the show. Yeah. Well, I don't do cardio enough, so I just have to I skip leg day enough times. So I don't want the one time I do it to be when I fucking hurt myself. Yeah, I don't want an excuse not to do leg day. I just want to choose not to do it.
Everyone does that.
Fucking leg day, dude. I worked out that if you do it more often, it gets easier.
Oh yeah, it does.
But fuck, man, I might not do it for like a month, and then I'll be like, oh fuck, now I got to do like leg day. But I'll do it like twice in the week after that month.
You up.
Oh fuck, dude!
Yeah,
Even if you do a Monday session and a Friday session, leg day, you got like 4 or 5 days between each one. Man, they'll still fuck your shit.
Yeah.
And the worst thing, dude, because I do bartending as well as my day job in the city, I am on my feet all weekend. So if you do a leg day on fucking Friday, dude, fucking whole day just go kaput, you know.
It's hard though, because the worst thing about leg day, and people laugh when I say this, is when you go to the bathroom, and you know what I'm talking about. Like we try to sit on the toilet and you can't sit, and you're like, and you try to crouch on the toilet, you can't move.
Yeah, exactly.
Your legs hurt to sit.
That's exactly
the
right,
worst
dude.
feeling.
Or you go to the fucking mall and the escalator's turned off, and you got to walk up the fucking each step.
What? Nah, I'm walking.
You ever seen that shit?
Yeah, I'm not going up. I'm staying on that floor.
Yeah, you hope there's a Coles on that floor and you fucking get it done. Yeah, man. I used to go to the gym a lot more regularly than I do now. During COVID, I stopped going because they were shut, and then I just haven't really properly gone back since.
It's hard, yeah.
I dropped a bunch of weight from diet. Like I was doing the low carb diet, and I've nearly dropped like 20 kilos now.
Congrats, man.
Yeah, thanks, dude. It's just all diet though. There's no like cardio to lose that weight. Normally, if you're gonna lose like a decent amount of weight, it's all gonna be like, you know, cardio and food, you know, food and exercise, whereas I just did it all from diet.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So I dropped a little bit of weight from muscle. Like there'd be probably about 5 kilos of muscle weight in that.
Yeah.
But I feel like the way to like finally get to a point where I feel like I've gotten something out of the diet would be if I did a bit more exercise. That's the next step, is trying to get a bit more tone and shit. Because I used to be, although I was like, had more body fat, I also used to be stronger. The last few times I've been, I was trying to like benchmark myself compared to my old weights that I used to lift when I was like fatter. And I'm like, fuck, man. Although I was fat, I was a fair bit fucking stronger, like more stronger before. You just tend to be stronger when you're bigger because you got to like push the weight around a bit more.
But no, good on you for losing that weight though. That's pretty decent. Like you can at least say you've done like the hard part now. Like now you get to enjoy the process, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like the whole building stage and just kind of working on what you want to work on.
Yeah.
The food is always the hardest part. People them ones like females, I'm not calling you females out, but some females got to stop that. They go to the gym and then I see them in the drive-thru afterwards.
Yeah.
Doing a little Instagram boomerang.
Yeah.
With a French fry. I'm like,
Yeah,
Okay.
Because you just get the boomerang, dude,
I
and you're
get
just
it.
like, what the fuck? Because you've seen the one where they're at the
Yeah,
squat
like,
rack.
You see like the story before
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Instagram
yeah.
post where they're at the gym.
Yeah.
Then you got the post of them doing the mirror selfie. You have to do standard.
Yeah.
The next one is like, cheers.
Yeah,
They're at like a bar or restaurant and they're
Yeah.
eating like the worst thing ever. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, because like that's one thing I learned about when I was on this diet, man. I can only really, as part of this diet, just have like basically straight spirits if I'm gonna have anything. Like vodka lime soda. If I want bourbon, it's got to be straight, like neat.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you're mixing stuff with fucking like Coke and stuff like that, just kiss it goodbye. And beer, fucking forget about it, man. You have one beer, see you later. That's it. You're done.
You just put a whole week's worth back on.
Yeah, it's like
one pint.
Yeah, just one pint and it's fucking done, man. And like I don't mind a beer, but since March last year so I've nearly been doing it for 12 months in March.
That's sick. That's cool.
It's been more residual. Like I lost 15 kilos in 2017, but I lost it in like 2 months.
Ooh.
And I put it all back on like straight away, dude, because I did it all by just eating nothing but fucking chicken and salad, man. That's all I did.
Oh,
like,
man, yeah.
and I dropped it and it was obvious, but I fucking put it all back on, man. And it's all because of the night shift shit, man. Like I'll finish a bar shift, go through that drive-through, like you said, man. You're fucking eating whatever you want.
And
Yeah, it's just that's the thing about like comedy though. I have to rewrite my jokes because like I used to have some jokes where I'd be talking about being a fat fuck, right?
yeah.
But I'll like notice the crowd response sometimes if I say that. They're like, yeah, but you're not a fat fuck, right? Like you're not as fat as a fuck as you used to be or whatever. So like the crowd sometimes will just be like, you get their response. You ever get that? Like when you fucking tell them something, they'll be like, well, what do you mean?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, you got to like explain, I used to be a fat fuck when I
Yeah.
wrote this joke. Just fucking bear with me. Or I'll say like, I used to be like, fucking 20 kilos heavier.
Yeah.
You say that at the top, so then you know that like after that joke's like relevant to like you can do a callback and be like, oh, when I was a fat fuck, this is what I used to do. Like I used to fucking know the Macca's guy, like the drive-through dude, on a first name. I fucking knew his name,
that's
dude.
that's some personal level.
Oh,
Right
I
there.
even knew his voice, dude. Like I was like a fucking baby penguin. Like whenever we'd pull up at the drive-through, or I'd pull up there and hear his voice, you're like, oh, it's fucking what's his name? I know who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, his name's Tristan, man. I fucking know.
Comedy does that to you though. I've noticed like since I've been doing comedy, like if you do, because obviously there's no such thing as like a show at 12 p.m. Or 1 in the afternoon, or like 7 or 8 in the afternoon, and especially if you're on like the first half, or even if you're on the second half, by the time you're out of that venue, it's like 10 p.m. already.
Yeah.
And like you're probably going to be hungry.
Yeah.
So obviously you're driving home, McDonald's. That's all you're seeing. You're like,
that's all you
I
see.
kind of want a cheeseburger. So now next minute you're like stuffing on cheeseburgers all the time. And you're like, damn, I didn't want to eat that, but you're hungry. And as well, especially when you got that adrenaline after you come off after a
man,
show.
I'm a sucker
you
for
can't
it. Yeah,
sleep.
yeah.
So you go home, you might want to snack on something as well because you're thinking about that set, or you're thinking about those jokes, or you're even watching your set back or something, and you're like, or you're thinking of a joke like, oh man, I should have said da da da, and next one you're like munching on some cheese and crackers or something. I don't know.
I did that on Wednesday, man. I did.
Yeah.
I had my set. I was watching it back again because I record like my bits and watch them back, and I'm just like, fuck, dude. Like I should have said that bit there. Like I think because that was the first time I've been back to do comedy since last year.
There's a gap.
I had some stuff I was starting to work on at the end of last year.
Yeah.
And I forgot to fucking put it into the new shit. So because I usually cut my sets new and old, so I'll like mix the new shit in with the old shit, so I can perfect the old stuff, but also start with the new stuff.
Yeah.
And you're not getting up there just doing all new shit because
Like I did.
we did fucking well, man. Yeah.
But go on, carry on. Go on.
Oh no, so yeah, I don't usually remember till after I get off stage. I was like, fuck. Like sometimes I did this set at Smith's once where I had like 5 new jokes that I wanted to hit, and I had like 1 or 2 old ones just to like smash it all together.
Yeah.
I did like 1 of my old ones and then just did fucking crowd work for the rest of the thing, dude. I did no fucking new stuff.
Yeah.
But like there was this like I went on like a tangent. I was talking about was talking about Instagram and like how you randomly get messages from people just saying like with a link that doesn't have anything. It's just like some fucking bot website. Just fucking here you go, have a link.
Yeah.
I have a whole bit about it which I'm working on at the moment, so I won't burn it on the potty. But I fucking was talking about that, and I was trying to see how many people were kind of like on board with the joke. So I just go like, do you guys know Instagram? And obviously, like, people know what fucking Instagram is.
Yeah, true.
And I go on like a rant. I'm like, oh yeah, real fucking relatable crowd. You all know Instagram. Do you know I suppose you probably shop on eBay too. You know, like just trying to like work out where you're at.
Stereotypes.
And before you know it, I'm fucking doing this whole rant about eBay and fucking like dodgy eBay sellers and all this stupid shit.
Yeah.
And I finally think to myself like, all right. So back to Instagram, and that everyone just lost their shit because I went on such a fucking tangent.
Yeah.
And when I brought it back to Instagram, everyone lost their shit, and it was bang on fucking 5 minutes, and I was just like, all right, well, anyway, that's good enough. See you later. I didn't even do the fucking joke.
I love those. That's the one thing I love about comedy is like when I sit back and I watch like another comedian just go off on a tangent.
Yeah.
And you know it's not their material. Like it's just all crowd work. Like there's two that I can think of that were just like hilarious. I did a show not too long ago with Pat Doherty.
Yeah, Pat Doherty.
He was in I think it's at Chris's room.
Yeah.
And he just went off. He was just flirting with every member in the audience.
Fuck
talking
yeah.
about breast milk. And I was the
dude, so good.
And he recorded it, and I felt for him because he was recording his set. And I was like, this is going to be some Instagram gold right here.
Yeah.
His phone just shut off completely. I don't know what happened.
Fuck.
Like we could all see it because he had his phone up and we were all like watching it from his phone.
Yeah, yeah.
His phone just blacked out, and we're like, he's going to be so pissed when he comes off the
Fuck,
stage.
man. Poor dude.
He had some good stuff. And then one of my boys, Carl Legacy, flipping hilarious. He doesn't have any like material.
Yeah, yeah.
Like every time he goes up, he does crowd work. And
Yeah.
he talks
I
all
don't
sorts
know
of
him.
madness.
You Sydney boy? Or?
He's from the UK as well.
Okay.
But he's in Perth at the moment doing that Fringe Festival.
Yeah,
up there.
yeah. It's a big thing here. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize festivals are big over here because obviously, do they have one in Canberra?
They have the Canberra Comedy Festival. Yeah.
When's that?
It's usually around March every year. Yeah.
I see you there.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't even know they did one.
Dude, I did it a couple years back.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was
Sick.
great, man. I didn't have my own spot. I was just doing an opening spot for Bill Macon. He's he moved to Sydney recently, actually.
Okay.
But I did a spot, an opening spot for him, dude. It was actually, 2018. Yeah, fucking 2019. Whatever. Fuck it. It was actually... That was the week that I started my podcast. So it would have been, 2018,
okay,
my comedy
cool.
podcast, yeah. So
Nice.
I fucking sat with him and did my first episode with him to promote the upcoming gig.
Sick.
Yeah, so him and I did a potty together, and that's the first ever episode, man. It's fucking... We filmed it at the basement, and it's like a little bit like the camera work is a bit shit. Like it's
Of
just
course, it's the
the
first
first one.
Yeah.
But fuck, dude, the content is gold. Like we're just because Bill's got some fucking funny stories from over the years, man. Oh yeah, speaking of stories, I've got a fucking section as well from the news article thing. I want to do one other bit maybe to close up this episode.
Yeah.
Do you have like, it's kind of put you on the spot a little bit, but do you have like any like stories, like funny stories that just from like a one-off thing where you're like, what the fuck? Like that's a weird thing to happen or something like if you're at a bar and someone's like, oh, have you got any crazy fucking stories? Someone tells their story about how they met someone famous or some shit, and you're like, oh, I've got to this is my story. Do you have one of those?
Oh, that's on the spot. There's so many. I'm trying to think of like an appropriate one.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah,
For two, I don't want to call out any of my friends. For two,
I get it.
I haven't run it by them. Like they're gonna be listening to this podcast. I was like, they can't send that story. Like, what's he doing? But no, I'm just thinking like,
I'll start off the fucking bidding, man.
Go on.
This isn't my story, but this is an example of like something that's happened, right?
Yeah.
So we were sitting around at King O'Malley's Irish pub in town.
Okay.
And we're talking about it was St. Paddy's Day. And this Irish chick comes over and starts talking to us. Not with our group or anything, man.
Right.
She was just fucking hanging out with us.
Okay.
And she comes over. She was like, a couple drinks, just walks over and sits with a fucking table of people because there's no one else there that she recognizes or whatever that are like her age or whatever. So she's like, I'll just hang out with these fucking people. They look around my age, yeah?
Yeah.
She comes over, man, and I'm sitting at the table. And I was there with my girlfriend at the time. And this fucking random, like, middle-aged chick just comes up and starts going, like, I bet you're proud of yourself to me. And I'm like, what's the matter? Like, do I know you?
Okay.
And she was just like, yeah, look at you with your beard and stuff. You look just like him. And I was just like, this chick's crazy, right? You look just like him. And I'm like, just like who? And she's like, you look just like my ex-husband. And I was just like, what the fuck? And and she's like getting up in my grill and shit, and I'm just going like, can you like leave us alone, please? Yeah. And my girlfriend at the time was just sitting there, not my current girlfriend at the time, was just sitting there going like, I don't know what to fucking do. And I'm like, can you like just stay away from her? I don't know what to fucking do, right?
Okay. Yeah,
but I'm used to normally if I'm dating someone that is like they'll like step in, because it's like I can't fucking like do anything with this chick, right?
Yeah, of course.
But also I wasn't expecting my girl at the time to do anything. But, like, at the same time, I was just like, I'm just going to fucking lean back and just be like, just leave me alone. But at the same time, I was kind of, like, thinking maybe she'll at least say something.
Right.
Or she'll go and get the security guard while I deal with her. I was trying to get her to be like, hey, can you, like, go and grab the dude or whatever? Something like that, yeah. So, but she's just sitting there frozen, right? And I knew if I stood up and started walking over, she'd probably hype up, you know? This fucking Irish chick that was sitting with us, she just gets up with this fucking thick Irish accent and just goes, oh, yeah, like, piss off. Like, starts telling her to piss off. And she's going, like, what do you know this guy? And she's like, no, I just met him now, piss off. Like, get out of here. Like, she starts telling her to piss off. And she just left us alone. I'm just like, fuck yeah, man. This random Irish chick just saved my ass, dude.
Always get saved by Irish people.
It's not like a crazy story, but she sat down and people were telling stories and she tells this fucking banger, dude. So she says, she's like, oh, St. Paddy's Day, it's not as like, I can't do an Irish accent. St. Paddy's Day, it's not as good. There we go, yeah.
Yeah. Rob, you got to keep going.
Yeah.
Keep the accent.
Yeah, I got to keep the accent. So if I redo the accent, she was just like, oh, you need to fuck off, get out of here, you know? Yeah, there you go, that's what she said. So she's like, yeah, St. Paddy's Day, it's not as good as it used to be as back when I was in Ireland. It's like, oh, why is that? And she goes, oh, so many crazy things happen in Ireland on St. Paddy's Day. People do heaps of crazy stuff. I said, oh, yeah, what kind of crazy stuff? Yeah. And she's just like, my brother, he lived in Ireland, and he lived in a village, and the village was completely surrounded by trees, and he lived outside on the other side of the trees on a farm. And I'm like, okay. She goes, everyone in the whole town was drunk for St. Paddy's Day. The whole town drunk, whole day. Everyone starts drinking in the morning, gets drunk all fucking day. He was like, fuck, I have to go home because I've got my car. I need to go home and park my car and get back before they start the parade because I won't be able to drive my car because all the fucking streets will be blocked off, yeah? So she goes, he fucking drove his car home, decided to have a few more drinks at home before he went back in.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Okay.
And he was just like, fuck, I don't have a way to get back in, right? And he thought that he was going to get a lift with his neighbour, and that's how he was going to get in. But his fucking neighbour had already left. Okay. So he was like, I'm fucking stuck at home and I want to go back into the pub and like hang out with the boys, yeah?
Yeah.
So he fucking decided, oh, I'll just get in my farm ute and fucking try and drive through the bush, like the trees, the forest. And he did, but he had a chainsaw in the back, so every time he'd hit a fucking tree, he would cut it down, right?
Right.
He had to cut down like fucking 16, 17 trees to get all the way into this fucking town. Just small shit, but he got through.
Okay.
He created a fucking clearing all the way into the town through this fucking bush, like a bush track, yeah? And he gets in town, he parks his fucking ute back in town again. He's like, fuck it, I'll deal with moving that again. Down the track, he's already had drinks. He's fucking, like, doesn't care anymore.
Right.
He fucking drinks all night, forgets everything that had happened, right?
Right.
He comes back a couple days later to pick his fucking car up, and they're like, dude, who cut the fucking trees down? You know, who cut all these trees down to get into town? And he was just like, I don't fucking know. I think maybe I did it, but I can't remember. You know, I can't really remember. I remember cutting down trees. I don't know if it was before that, whether it was another day, whatever. I can't fucking remember. He got so fucked up, he couldn't fucking remember. So they asked around, and 4 fucking people said that they did it. No one admitted it, but there was like 4 people that were like, it could have been me, man.
Right.
And then eventually he worked out it was him, but fucking 4 people owned up for it. Because they were all like not sure. The whole town was so drunk. They were like, fuck it, dude. I'm just going to say it was me because like I'm going to fucking assume that I was the one there. But it was like a mystery through the whole town who cleared a fucking bush path to get to the fucking get into town.
The fact that 4 people thought that tells you everything right there.
It's like,
oh,
man, it's like they fucking didn't want someone to go down, so they just took the hit.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
that's nice.
You love that, man. Everyone's got a fucking friend that'll admit it was them, even if they didn't know whether they did it or fucking not. It's the best one to have.
Friends.
Yeah, so that's my random one.
I got 2 funny stories. I'll tell you. The first one's super quick. It's the first time I met you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember. It was at Smith's.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember.
So it's a 2-part story, right? So it's like I'm just starting comedy, so I'm doing my thing, and me, Marky are on the same lineup, and there's a guy on the lineup as well called Randy Feltface.
Yeah.
So like you come up on stage, you think, oh, I'm doing all right, and then Randy comes up, and it makes you realize, boy, this might not be for me, because he was funny. I was like, boy, I might need a career change. I'm early. So afterwards, during the show, there's a break. So in the break, everyone's outside, like me, all the comedians outside, and I meet Marky for the first time. Mark was obviously in the zone. He obviously must, because I think he was going up next, or he was coming up.
Yeah.
So he was obviously in his zone, right? But I'd spoken to him once on Instagram because I moved to Canberra and I said, I need to like hook up with like comedians and find out like what's the deal around here. So Mark's like, yeah, I'll hit you up, I'll message you. This guy was in the zone. I looked at this guy, I was like, this guy is about to beat me up, listen to AC/DC and some Black Sabbath and ride out here on a Harley. I was like, yo, this guy don't want to say hi. He's like, yeah, I'm just concentrating. I was like, yo, this guy is serious. But then afterwards I met him and I chatted to him, and then we went to the basement. I was like, coolest guy ever, like legendary guy. But I just remember the first time I met Marky, I was like, this guy's about to kill me. This guy was long beard, looked like a final boss of a character in a movie. Like, I swear, like, boy, I was like, I might need to leave Canberra real soon.
The final fucking Mortal Kombat character or something.
Yeah, just level 8. Like, that was mad. And I'll tell you,
dude, that's funny.
I'll tell you a random story. Back in the UK, I was with my boys. So before I used to do comedy or that madness, I used to play sports back home for a living. So we went out with my mates on a night out. It's the funniest story ever. So there's like a bar. So like every area has like that kind of bar. You got like your bougie bar. So the kind of bar that some bars you would normally pay nothing to get into free. And that's where all the kind of the freebies will all go. But if you wanted to get a girl, you would go to the bar that you pay $20 to get into.
The nicer
that's
bar,
the nice one that all the girls will be at. So you go outside, you see like all the girls be lined up, and then all the guys are lined up. And then these group of girls came out. So these girls came out and started speaking to us, right? I'm not going to say their names, right? Yeah. Because I got to keep them confidential.
You know their names, though, so it went all right, yeah.
No, of course not. So what happened was this. They were like, what do you do for a living, innit? So it was like, oh, we play sports, innit? But my mate didn't play for a living. He was just the friend who acted like he played.
Oh, yeah.
So she goes, what team do you play for? And I'll say the team because it's a big team. He said he played for Tottenham. Tottenham is like one of the biggest teams in England. And he gave a fake name. He gave a name of one of the players, thinking this girl is stupid. This girl pulled out her phone.
Of course, yeah.
And Google imaged this guy. So he's mixed race, right? So he's light skinned. And he picked a player that was black. So when she put an image, he was like looking like, there's a bad angle picture. I was like, bro, that's the worst. Like, of all the players he could have picked, he picked the most unrecognizable. Bro, that is not to you. Like, he was trying to justify, like, no, it was a bad day. I was lying. That's me. It's me. I was like, bro, it's not you. It was bad. And then her friend was there, and her friend had dated a big footballer. And she'd come to me and said, oh, like, get our number. So I said, oh, I'll take you out for dinner. The restaurant, she said, as a joke, I thought, let me just Google what they're like. You got to pay per head to get in. It was like £110. That's like $250.
That's a lot, yeah.
She was like, are you coming? I said, nah, I got to go. I had to leave. I was like, listen, I'm not getting myself involved. That's too much money. But yeah, my friend, that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen him do. Fuck, it was quite embarrassing. On the way home, we were just like ripping into him.
No, like, dude, that's good.
That's terrible.
Oh fuck, but yeah, dude. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Oh no, I've seen that shit before, man. Like people paying to get into shows and stuff all the fucking time, like at the bar. The worst one is, so I actually listened to this podcast called The Verzi Effect. It's this comedian called Paul Verzi. He's he used to tour with Bill Burr, but now he's doing his own thing. He used to open for Bill Burr, and now he's his own headliner, so he doesn't do open spots for Bill anymore.
Okay. Bill Burr, if you need an opener.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
let your boy.
No, he's probably he's a friend of the show, man. He's probably fucking tuning in right now. So I was listening to the podcast, and he was saying on the show that they went to him and another comedian, Joe Bartnick. They all smoke cigars, right? So I think it was him, Bill, and Joe Bartnick. They're all comedians, and they go to this cigar lounge after they do the comedy spot, yeah?
Right.
And they ordered 3 cigars, and they're still waiting on them to come out. And they were like, he was like, "Oh, I'll go get some drinks while we're waiting for the cigars, yeah?"
Right.
So he fucking goes to the bar, and he's just like, "I tell you what, man." He's like, you know how you're saying you get hyped after a show?
Yeah.
He was just like, "Man, I fucking was like, I just did this big gig. Bill Burr, fucking Joe Bartnick's there. It's gonna be a good fucking night. I'm going top shelf, yeah." So he sees this fucking cognac on the top shelf of this fucking bar. He says to the guy, "I want to get 3 shots of that on ice." Yeah.
Okay.
Just how it, or I don't think you have cognac on ice, but yeah, just like you just put it in a fucking cognac glass, yeah. And the guy goes, "Oh, you do realize that's going to be 300, yeah?" And he goes, "Yeah, no worries."
Oh no.
He's like, he's thinking to himself, "Fuck, that's expensive." But he pours one, he turns around, he goes, "Oh, hang on, I forgot to mention that's 300 each."
No.
Each.
No.
So you think 3 drinks, 300 must be 100 each? He pours the first one. Oh, hang on, no, that's 300 each.
Yeah, I would have called him out for that. I said, nah, false advertisement.
No, he was just like, "Hey, man, yeah, no." He's like, that's why he paused. He's like, "Before I do another one, man, I'm just letting you know it's 300 each."
Oh.
Yeah, fucking Verzi just gets this shit down, pays for it, takes it back. It was either when he pulled the first one or when he got the bottle down. But either way, he knew he had to clarify to the dude it was fucking each. You know, he fucking paid for that shit. He goes, he took them all back, man. He if you listen to Paul's podcast, he's a fucking, he calls himself an amenities guy. He likes shit nice. He likes bougie shit. It's like Bill says, man. He's like, if I could make someone else a billionaire just for my own entertainment, it'd be definitely fucking Verzi, man, because the amount of crazy shit he would buy, like he would have like flamingos in his backyard and shit just because he likes bougie stuff.
That's too much.
Fuck, dude. Yeah, he loves his at the start of his special, he was talking about how he's likes the, you know how comedians will have like a cameo at the special of like another comedian.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
appearance.
Yeah, that's what he had. We had Bill at the start of one of his specials.
Nice.
And he was just like, paying him out a little bit about his fucking sneakers, because Verzi always wears like Jordans. So he'd be like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "What should I wear?" But he's like, "Yeah, Jordan 3s. Like, you should go with the Jordan 3s for this one." He's like, "Yeah, that's a good idea. You think Jordan 3s with the blue jeans?"
Yeah.
Like, he just fucking knows what works and shit. Oh man, yeah, it's actually, Bill's got his comedy like network, All Things Comedy. They do podcasts as well, so like they're all on the same platform, which is sick. That's how they kind of like cross promote and
that's good,
all that sort of stuff. But that just is what podcasting is now, especially the last 12 months, man. It's all been stuff that you can do from home. So
I even made everyone a podcast. That was nice though. But it's nice that I was speaking to you before this, and obviously I like heard about your background and how you got into it, and it's nice because like it's nice to meet someone who's done a podcast because they got that passion for podcasting from before. Like, I'm not gonna lie, me and my boy, he's an Irish boy, I'm not even gonna lie, we were gonna start a podcast during COVID. We were gonna call it Black Irish Coffee.
Oh,
he's
fuck.
Irish. It would have been like the funniest thing, but it's like, I like someone who's done it from before because they got all the expertise and they know how to do everything, and then kind of got that kind of vibe. So it doesn't feel like it's just, I'm just walking into your project. I feel like it's like,
yeah, well,
it's a proper, yeah.
I haven't done any single episodes before, but I usually like to have a guest every episode and just have a rotating guest every time so that we can like sort of mix it up a little bit. Makes it easier to, you know, get to know everybody in the scene and hear different stories and all that sort of stuff, man. You're saying before about like the background. I previously did another podcast before this, but lately I've been doing some gaming stuff, and like, man, I fucking... I'll run this out for like the next 15 and split it in 2 episodes.
Cool.
Just letting you know. Like I'll put that off mic, but yeah,
Right.
just let you know. It's long enough to split into. But yeah, so we've been doing some gaming stuff because when I stopped doing weekly shows for my other podcast, which is called Canberra Metalheads, if people want to check it out. If you're into metal and that sort of shit, I interview bands and all that sort of stuff. With I had a co-host originally, then got another co-host, and the current co-host for the show I've had there since we did 70 episodes all up. So he did a few episodes himself. I stepped away from it, let him take over for a little bit while I started this podcast.
Cool.
Now that this one's up and running, I've stepped back into it and we do shows whenever we get an opportunity.
Yeah.
But fucking, yeah, dude, we've done 70 episodes, and he's probably been part of about 50 of them. So I had the first co-host for the first 20 odd shows, and then him ever since. He's in a band as well, which he's kind of got a bit more insight into, when I ask technical questions about setups and all that sort of shit, sound audio stuff. He does recording and things, so he kind of knows all that shit. But yeah, so once I wrapped up doing shows every week for Canberra Metalheads, I switched into trying to do something else with the time that I wasn't spending doing that.
Yeah.
So I put a fair bit of time into getting this podcast sort of going. It was initiated, but I needed to create a bit more content. Instead of just audio, I added the video. So I got my YouTube channel going and all that sort of stuff, and added a few clips of me doing comedy to it as well, just to beef it up a bit. I don't put many videos of me doing comedy on YouTube though, because I'm kind of trying to save it for my first special. I don't want to burn too many good bits.
Yeah.
But
that'll be good. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh man, but some of them, they're I should have done them on YouTube. They're not relevant anymore. I might think of a topical joke, which I should just put online,
True. Yeah.
I had one about, I used to do this old bit about Star Wars, and I'm I should just put that online because it's after a few years that joke might not be relevant.
Got it.
Because you get a new generation of people that don't watch Star Wars anymore, or didn't watch that series of Star Wars. And I also had I had a couple that I should have done as YouTube videos, but I sort of held on to them for too long, and now they're not as relevant anymore.
Yeah, it happens, but yeah.
Pre-COVID jokes, even COVID stuff.
That's going to end up dying soon.
Dying
at some point
soon,
as well, yeah.
and it's fair enough. At some point that'll die off. I was actually talking on when I had to do I did an article in the Riot Act, and when I got interviewed for that, I mentioned this on that interview that I want to do a 15-minute COVID joke special where it's just all my COVID kind of material all in one 15-minute YouTube video.
Right.
Because eventually that'll all be burnt and I won't.
That's
But
yeah.
Who knows when I'll do my first special? I'm planning to do one at some point, but fuck, I don't know. Whereas something like a COVID special, you can just do a 15-minute opener with all your COVID shit and then move on into your other jokes as well. Just get out of the way and only release that first bit,
Yeah, that would work. That's smart.
Yeah, you just do a comedy night where you book it out for an hour, 15 minutes, you get all your COVID shit out of the way, and then you fucking do 45
Just
of other
whatever
material.
else. Yeah, that's pretty smart. I like that.
But somewhere like the basement's a perfect spot to record shit like that. That's where that's my home fucking home venue. So yeah,
that venue is. I don't think people realize how good that venue is. It's legitimately. I can easily say, because I've done shows in Sydney and Canberra, it's one of the best venues, just from audience vibe, size of the audience, the setup of the place. It's just, and I'm not disrespecting. I'm just saying other places will have your typical a converted bar that gets turned into a comedy night, which is fine, and I like those as well. They're as good, but going into the basement, it's you got the side bit, you got the stairs, you got on the comedy thing. It's just it gives you, for anyone who wants to aspire to getting a special, it's a nice transitional place, so you feel comfortable on that size of a stage. Yeah, where you can't just go from a cafe to doing a special.
Yeah,
you might feel a little bit weird.
Yeah,
you might not want to operate on a stage that big. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just...
oh, dude, I know, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I just like that as a vibe.
There's a couple spots, like, I feel like you got the front, which is, like, same eye level with everybody.
Yeah.
And then you got Smith's, which is, like, a step up.
Yep.
And then the basement is, like, a stage.
Yep.
And that's the difference. Dude, I was just talking about how I work in radio for so long. You've kept your mic exactly where it is, and I've bumped mine like 4 or 5 fucking times. Yeah. It's because I get so animated with my hands.
No,
and
it's
stuff.
cool. I'm not trying to pay for no equipment. My hands are right down here. I'm like, listen, you can hit your own mic because it's your mic.
Yeah, yeah.
You can sort that out yourself. If I hit that mic, I'm going to get an invoice from Marky on Instagram. Like, bro, you know, we hit that mic. It's 400. 400? Nah. Hands here.
Oh, man. That's a side thing, man. I got these mics from Better Music, man. They hooked me up because from the metal show that I do or did before and still do, they have a guy that works there that I've interviewed for the show. Yeah. So when I went in there, he was like, "Oh yeah, how you doing, Marky? I'll help you out. Like, what are you looking for?" And they did a good deal on the mics, and I got lav mics as well for like when I do portable shows.
Cool.
And yeah, they hooked me up. So yeah, I always said that whenever I mention the mics, I'll give them a shout out. So there you go. There's your fucking shout out.
There you go. Flick me a mic as well.
Yeah.
I need one.
So yeah, it's been good. It's been good to like set up my own little studio, you know. Like
cool.
it's heating up a bit in here at the moment. You got that sunny up, but but man, like I said before, I kind of back to the difference between the two shows, man. I had the metal show and I wrapped that up and started getting this one going. Then I had the metal show going again. I'm like, fuck, I kind of want to like put a little bit more time into like my gaming stuff, man, because I've got so many games and so many retro games and all this shit that I just have never like really... I've collected it, but I've never played it properly. Like I've sort of played it, you know, oh, that's right. That's how I remember this game now from when I was a kid, but I've not like just sat there and properly played it. But because I'm so used to generating content, I feel like when you play a game just by yourself, sometimes... you could also be like streaming that for content, you know, like literally. I feel like just playing it by yourself is a little bit like, I feel like I'm being selfish by not sharing that experience with 100%. Other people.
I don't think people realize if you haven't made a weird noise of frustration because you lost on a level or something, you've not played a game like properly. Like, yeah. When you cuss out the computer, like I've cussed out my games every time I've played. Like I'll call the computer a cheat. I'm like, "Are you cheating?" I'm like, like, I'm stuck on this level. You get emotional. It's just fun.
I try and hold it back a little bit because when I'm streaming and stuff, like, so that's what I'm getting to. I've been doing game streaming lately, and I obviously get mad, but like I try and keep a lid on it a little bit because I don't want to be that guy that people just watch to see whether I blow up. Whereas if I'm fucking playing by myself, I'll be like, fuck. But like. When I'm playing it online, I sort of try to like keep a bit of a lid on it because I don't want that to be my thing. Like I don't want the reason people to watch is just waiting for me to fucking get mad at the game. Yeah. But so I've kind of been doing the retro stuff lately, and we were talking off mic before about like some of the early games. Man, you're showing me like Streets of Rage and shit, which is a game that I'm gonna start playing as well. Like every month I'm doing a different game. That's it. And Streets of Rage, my buddy and I, we used to live with each other, man. Yeah. I had the old retro console set up, man, and we used to play Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3. Like every time we'd be home at the same time, like on a Friday night or something, man. Yeah. We order pizza, we fucking get our soft drinks out, we'd just be sitting there, because like he doesn't really drink. So like I wouldn't like to drink if he wasn't drinking. So we'd just be sitting there fucking pounding Pepsi Maxes, just fucking playing Streets of Rage, man. And he would always have his favorite characters, and we'd always just fucking burn through.
Memories.
But fuck, dude, yeah, Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3, like one after the other until we finally got through all of them, and that's when we call it a fucking night, man.
Damn.
It's fucking good stuff, man. But yeah, you're showing me Streets of Rage, but we're talking about like the old school shit. I was saying about the camera angle being for this podcast used to be like a fisheye lens, but now it's like a skate video, but now it's like more square, and it reminded me like the fucking Tony Hawk shit, dude.
I think every person at some point in their life needs to have played Tony Hawk on PlayStation. Not PlayStation 2, 3, like PlayStation
the
1.
original shit, yeah.
You got to blow the disc.
Yeah.
Blow the console to make sure it's working.
It's all good, yeah.
And then you just got to make your character, because you were saying before about making your character.
Yeah, because like when you make a character, do you try and make it look like you, or do you usually make it like outrageous or whatever?
When I was young, I used to make them like ridiculous.
Yeah. Like
Like, they'd
purple
have-
hair and shit.
Like Mohican, like big beard Mohican. I'll be like, yeah, I want him to look like tattooed up, like nothing like how I would look. And it's just like, I would dress in like, I think every person, I know it sounds weird, I could be wrong here, but most people who played Tony Hawk would have made a character that had no shirt.
Yeah.
It was always like baggy shorts, long shorts, no top, just tattoos.
Just all like, don't worry, the tattoos will protect me,
Yeah,
dude. Yeah,
sick.
don't need fucking padding when you got tattoos, man.
One elbow pad or something.
Yeah. That's like I'll put a fucking picture on the podcast. But I used to have a mohawk before I had a beard. I had a mohawk. Man, and I'll put the picture like right here in the video edition. I'll be holding this picture. The picture's here. But the fucking mohawk, dude, it was insane. Like I said, this massive fucking mohawk, no beard.
Oh, damn.
And I just looked like, I was like 19 at the time. And I was just like, I thought I was fucking king shit, dude. I used to fucking work at this metal bar. I used to have a mohawk and fucking like always try and look as gnarly as I could. Fuck, it was funny, man. But I used to play those. We were saying about like the custom character. You just spend all this time fucking making this guy.
Yeah.
You send him down a big ramp, and he would just eat shit as soon as he fucking hit the first ramp, dude. Like people are trying to like get everything. Like when you're trying to like grind on something in Tony Hawk, you fucking get
Keep it balanced,
balance.
yeah.
I would always fucking axe it, dude. Like I'd fucking or you'd fall. The funniest thing is, dude, like. They would fall from like fucking massive heights and they would just get back up again. Like it's just, you just never, there was never any like damage. It was just always just straight up like, he'll be okay.
It's weird because it's funny because I used to be this kind of person. I'll put my hands up and admit this. Every time I would play Tony Hawk, if I went down the first ramp and I would try the most ridiculous combination of unrealistic tricks, if I didn't land, restart.
Yeah. Restart.
I was like, I'm not playing until I get a perfect run. Like if I was like doing nice and I stack it, I'm like, nah, restart, start again. I'm not doing it.
I do that with some of the games that I've been playing lately, man. Because like in Mortal Kombat 1, there's no fucking credits. It's just playthrough. But in 2, they introduce 4 credits. So if you fucking die, you have to start again after 4 deaths. So I fucking, what I do is like, if I die like 3 times and I'm still on the first person, man, I'll just fucking start again.
Yeah, let it go.
Fuck that, dude.
Let it go.
But I save stuff as well, like because I use like it on the computer. I got an emulator for the old school ones.
Okay.
So I have a physical console like controller.
Yeah.
But I tend to stream using an emulator, which is like just like you would have like, for example, like on your phone where you can play old games but like on a new
Pretty much,
yeah. So I fucking play through them on an emulator and you can actually save it during the session. So that's what I do. I save them if I want to replay them later.
Nice.
Like if I don't finish the game at the end of my stream, I'll save it, and then the next time I play, I can kick it back off again from the same position.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's why I do it that way. Otherwise, you just be constantly watching me die against the first fucking boss or for like an hour straight. But yeah, I stream on like once a week at the moment. I stream on Sundays, and that's a pretty happy schedule. You know, once a week, 1 game a month, and then the first of the next month, I do the next game.
Nice.
So yeah, I kind of got a bit of a plan to get through like 12 games this year, and I started it at the start of Jan. So
cool.
Hoping to run them all through. But yeah, that wraps up the episode. We did 2 parts for this one. So thanks everyone for listening.
Before I leave, just want to say shout out once again, Marky, for letting me jump on podcast. UK people don't like to come empty-handed, so I got you a tea.
Oh, what the fuck? Hell yeah, man.
It's an old tea. It's like I did a collab before I came to Canberra, so I was like, I'm gonna bless Marky with a tea.
Oh, dude, that's awesome, man. That's like your new logo you're showing me.
It's just a logo, yeah. It's just a logo that I'm just gonna use and just see how it goes. But I have to
dude,
bless
that's
you
really cool. Hey,
you were like one of the comedians who kind of like open the door, I would say, to let like warm welcome in Canberra for sure. So
dude, I really fucking appreciate that.
I appreciate that, man.
Hey, thanks very much, man. I'll have to wear that on one of my streams, man. Check out my game streams.
If you're gonna stream, like, make sure you're winning. Don't be like smashing up things.
Oh, dude, you know I can't promise that, but
Nah, of course not.
I'll give it a fuck. I'll try harder than normal if I'm wearing your shirt. Maybe it'll be the thing that fucking blesses me, man.
There you go.
Yeah. Thanks very much for that, dude.
No
I
worries,
really,
man.
really appreciate it. Cheers.
No worries, man.
And thanks. Make sure you check out Sam on social media. You have an Instagram account.
Yeah, at Sam Silla.
Yeah.
SAMSILLA.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. And check me out on I got Facebook and Instagram, Marky Worthington Comedy, and then Twitter's just Marky Comedy. And check out my Instagram, my YouTube is Marky Worthington Comedy, same as fucking Facebook and Instagram. And if you can't keep up with that shit, then either fuck off or check out the links in the fucking description.
Oh damn.
Yeah, man. Thanks for being on the show, man, and thanks for listening, everybody. Don't buy me a drink. Just name names.
Yeah, right. Big Tony, you'll get fucking thrown out.
The strip club with your floppy disk.
All day. Make people feel ashamed for shit all day.
Don't blow
Turn it
it.
into a hard drive.
Yeah, right. You'll get fucking... We're here
Keep it simple. Count your money.
That they're not proud of.
Just give me $10.
Hey, right.